Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to make this cardigan or bolero. It's made with hairpin lace and crochet. It's very easy to make and it's amazing the result. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make this piece. To make this cardigan or bolero, this is the yarn I'm going to use. 2 balls of 100 grams each, and this is what I have left from 2 of 100 grams each from mine, and mine was size large. The yarn is from Loops and Thread, wool-like, simili lane, 100 grams each, 85% acrylic, 15% nylon, is white and super fine one. The crochet hook is 3 millimeters, and you're gonna need tapestry needles and scissors, and ribbon is optional. If you don't find ribbon, you can do the little belt with crochet. And you're gonna need a hairpin lace loom. If you don't find a hairpin lace loom and you want to do this piece, I'm gonna leave in the description below a link for one of my videos on how to make a hairpin lace loom at home. It's made of wood and it's very easy to make. Once you have the hairpin lace loom, you have to open your post from 6 to 7 centimeters apart. Don't can be less or more. It had to be from 6 to 7. If you're making this for a size small to medium, you can open this as 6, but mine is a size large and it's open as 7. And we have to make 6 strips. But if you're making this extra large, you'll have to make 2 more strips. So it will have to be 8. But you don't can do this bigger because it's not gonna look right. It had to be that size. So if you're making it smaller, you'll need probably a little less yarn, but if you make it bigger, you'll need a little more. So now I'm gonna show you how to do the strips. To start, we're gonna create a loop by doing a knot and making sure that the knot is exactly in the center between the 2 posts. Now I'm going to do another knot to secure that one. And that is the first loop, always in the left side. Now we're going to pass our yarn on top of the right side and bring it to the back like that. And with the crochet hook, we're going to go in between those 2 strands of yarn there, and we're going to put our yarn through and chain 1 and do a single crochet there. Now we're going to pass our crochet hook to the back, flip or loom, and our yarn will be wrapped in that post to the back. Now we're going to pass our crochet hook in between those 2 strands of yarn, pull that tails in the way, and do a single crochet. And those are the only 2 single crochet that we're going to do in this piece. Then we pass again to the back, flip or loom. Now we're going to do double crochet, and to do that we're going to wrap around the yarn and the hook like this, and we're going to come here in between these 2 loops like that. Usually we do it in 1 strand. Now we're going to wrap around those 2. We're going to pass it through there, pull the yarn through, and do a double crochet. Put yarn on the hook, go back again. You see, in between these 2, you have to separate them like that, and do another double crochet. Put yarn on the hook and do another one. It will be 3 double crochet on each side. Now we're going to pass our hook to the back, flip or loom, wrap the yarn in that post, wrapping your yarn on the hook and go in between these two loops and do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Again, you pass your hook to the back, flip the loom, and you see it's always wrapping around the top. Wrap your yarn on the hook, go back in here in this side in between these two loops and do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, like that. Again, pass it to the back, flip around, wrap your yarn on the hook, go in between these two loops and do 3 double crochet. Anything is making a noise. 2 and 1 more. 3. And like that I have 3 loops on one side and 4 in the other one. Now you bring it to the back, flip around. Now you'll have 4 loops on each side. And now I'm gonna do 3 double crochet. 2 and 3. And it's gonna look like this. Again, flip it to the back, flip the loom, wrap your yarn on the hook, and we are separating every single loops, and that will give more space. That's why only we need 64 in each side. Again, pass it through the back, flip the loom, wrap your yarn on the hook. You see, the first ones are a little more difficult, but now you can see them, they are separated, so it's easier for you to do the 3 double crochet. Like that you're going to continue until you have 64 on each side. And you have to make sure that you count right the same amount in this one and in this one. Here I have my 64 loops on each side. Now I'm going to remove them from here. And now I had to do some chains, and for mine I did 7. You had to do the amount of chain that you need to have the height at this loop. For mine was 7. You can have 6, you can have 8, depend how tight or how loose you crochet. For me it had to be 7 chain. Here I have my 7th chain, and that's the height that I need. And I'm gonna pull my first loop, and I'm gonna do a single crochet. If you like, you can remove them all from your loom, but for me it's easier that way. Chain 2, go to the next loop, pull it through, do a single crochet in the top, chain 2, pull that loop, do a single crochet, chain 2, go to the next one, do a single crochet. Like that you're going to continue all the way until the end, and this is how it's going to look like. This is what we're doing now, chaining 2 and 1 single crochet on top of each loop. You're going to bring that all the way to the end. When you do the last one, you're going to chain 7, and you're going to do a single crochet here, chain 7 more, or 8 or 6, the amount that you're doing, and then again continue doing the same to the other side. But I'm going to do one side, and I'll show you how to continue when you get to the end of the strap. I removed the strap out of the loom, and you have to be careful not to twist them or to stretch them too much. You want them to keep the shape. And you're going to 1, 2 chain, grab the next loop, and do a single crochet. 1, 2, grab the next loop. You have to make sure too that you grab all the loops. 1, 2, and like that you're going to continue all the way to the end. You will have them like this. Here I finished with the last one. Now I'm going to chain 7. Now I'm going to come here. You see you have the single crochet here, but you're going to come here and you're going to do your single crochet. And when you do that, you see that single crochet that was loose there is nice and tight with the rest. Now you chain 7 more. And come here to the first one and do a single crochet. Chain 2. And you're going to continue all the way until the last loop, and I will show you how to finish that last piece. Here I did the last one, and now you only have to do the first one with chain here to finish the first strap. You want to chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You're going to come here in the top of the last double crochet. Then you're going to do a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn. And like that you finish your first strip. And then the second one, what you're going to do, when you get to this point here, you're going to wrap your yarn 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Again, you're going to come here on top of that double crochet, and you're going to do a quadruple crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and finish here on the top. And now we are ready to attach this strap to this one here that I already have attached. We're going to do this that we have here in the center. Okay. And remember, you have to attach 3 straps for one side and 3 for the other one. Now I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to come here to this strap here. And here what I have my chain 7 and the top one, I'm going to do a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to come to the strap, and here in between these 2 loops and that chain 2 space, I'm going to do a single crochet. You have to make sure that you work every single chain 2 space in each side, because when I was doing this one, attaching these 2 together, I made a mistake and left one of the loops without working. Then I have to do a big piece, because remember at the end you will have then an extra one if you don't work all of them. Chain 2, you're going to come here and do a single crochet. Chain 2, you're going to come here to the next chain 2 space and do a single crochet. Chain 2, this one here, and do a single crochet. Chain 2, this one in this side, and do a single crochet. Like that you're going to work all the way to the end, and like that you're going to attach 3 straps like this, and then you will make 3 more and attach them together to the other 3. This one and the other will be separate. Okay, so I'll meet you here when I have my 2 strip finished. Here I wanted to show you how to end each time you attach two of the strap together. Here I finish in the spaces, and now I'm gonna chain 2, or I have chain 2, and I'm gonna go in the top at the 7 chain, and I'm gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, and go to the other side and the top of the 7 chain, and do a single crochet, chain 1. Now I can cut the yarn and leave a tail for losing it later. I always like to leave a long enough tail, that way it's easier for me to secure it really well. There. And like that I finish attaching 3 of my straps, and now I have to make the other 3 and attach them together like this. Here I finish the 2 straps, and I lose all the tails, and now we're gonna close under the arm. Here I already closed one of the pieces on under the arm, and I measure 18 centimeters for the open, and then I close it here, attach together, and I left the yarn long, and I don't finish that last stitch just in case I needed to make it smaller or bigger, because when I finish the other side and I attach the 2 pieces together, and then I will try it on, and I will know if that's the right side that I need for the open of the armhole. So for me, I left 18 centimeters open, and from here you'll count, if you want the same size as me, 15 of these loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. This is number 15 here. This one here is number 15, and I finish in the space after that. You see, and here and here, and I left it there to finish it up later. And now I'll show you how to do it on the other piece. Here I already mark with the marker. This is number 15, and then in this next space I put the marker, and when I get to that space I will know that that's the last one that I have to do. So I'm gonna come here, do a slip knot, leaving a tail, that way I can lose that piece later. It's easier with a little long tail than too short. Okay, a slip knot. I'm gonna come here, and the top of the 7 chain at the border here, I'm gonna pass that loop, and that will count as the first chain. See, I have a 1 chain there. Now I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna grab this, the front part. I'm gonna count in the top chain, number 7, beside the loop. I'm gonna do a single crochet. Now I'm gonna chain 2, come here in the chain 2 space here, and do a single crochet. Now we're doing exactly the same that we did to attach these 2 strips together. Chain 2, go to the chain 2 space and do a single crochet. Chain 2, go back here, and like that you're going to continue in a zigzag until you get to the space where you have the marker. You will do that with this one and the other one, and then we'll start attaching the back part. Now I'm going to finish here in the last one, the single crochet, and I'm going to pull my yarn a little bit and then cut a tail long enough just in case I will need extra yarn for finishing in here if this is no if it's too big. And now we're going to attach the 2 pieces on the back. Now we're going to attach these 2 pieces on the back here, and we're going to do exactly the same as we did under the arm, but through the right side. You'll see that this has a right and a wrong side. These are a little more in, and the part that is the right side is a little more out. So I'm gonna flip it for the right side up, and then here in the 7th chain I'm gonna do exactly as I did under the arm with a slip knot, pass it through, and I'm gonna crochet in a zigzag until I have the desired height for my color. I'm gonna do mine off camera and I'll let you know how many loops I left or I attached together. Here I work for 26 loops. Here is number 26, and then in the chain after I did a single crochet, I chained 2, and I place a single crochet in top of the next loop, not in the chain space but in top of the loop in that single crochet. That way this chain 2 is nice and straight. After you finish that, you will chain 1 and cut your yarn, and you try run, and if you decide that you wanted this higher, and then you will continue. If you want it shorter, you will lose a few. The same for under the arm. When you try run and you find that this is too tight, you will lose a few, or if you find that it's too big, you will just do a few more chain 2 and close a few more loops. If you try run and you find that you are a little, bigger in the chest and this is too small, you can remove all this under the arm before you finish here, and you can do another strap and attach all the way around there, and that way will make this piece bigger. Mine is a size large, but it's not a size large that will fit an extra large, because sometimes I make pieces that is a size large but they stretch and will fit an extra large. This one is just for a large, and it will fit a medium too, or a small one, nice and loose, so but no more than large. So if you want it bigger, you just have to do that under the arm. In the last strap here, attach another one. So after you do that, I will lose all the tails, and I will show you what to do next. Here I finished losing all the tails, and if you like, you can leave it short sleeve like this. Just do a nice border all the way around, and you will leave it like that. For mine, I'm gonna do mine long sleeve. I already did one, and I love the way it looked when I try it on. It looked fantastic. What I did a short strap of the same hairpin lace design, and then after that I did this stitch all the way to the end of the sleeve, and then I finished with this edging. It looked very nice and very delicate. What I did for mine, I counted the spaces that I have here in the opening here for the arm, these spaces here, and that was the amount of loops that I did my other strap. For mine, I have 36 at this separation, and that is the amount that I did for the other sleeve. I did 36 loops on each side. After that, I'll attach mine here the same way as I attached the other straps. Attach there, and then after that I did a stitch here, and it looked really nice. You can do yours with the strap and 4 rows of these, and it looked really nice too, with a little just short sleeve, or you can do a 3/4 or long like mine. Now you have to count the amount of loops that you have to do, the separation. So for mine are 36. So I'll meet you here when I have mine, and I will show you how to attach them to the open and continue with the other design. This is so far the amount of yarn that I have left from my first ball of 100 grams. This is a very economic piece to make. And now I'm gonna do my 36 loops, and remember you have to do the same design here in the centers. Here I have my 36, and I'm gonna remove them from here, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna continue. Here where I finished that last loop, I'm gonna grab the other end, and I have my hook inside the loop. I'm gonna grab these, and I'm gonna do a single crochet to form a circle and make sure that it's not twisted. Do a single crochet, chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and go to the first loop and do a single crochet, chain 2, 1 and 2, go to the next loop and do a single crochet, chain 2, go to the next loop, single crochet, 1, 2. Like that, you're gonna work all the way around, and you're gonna create this chain 2 space in between each loop. Here I did my last loop, and I did a slip stitch and the chain number 8 on the top. Now I'm gonna chain 2, and I'm gonna come here to this piece. When I did the other side of the arm, I went the same way, that way, and now I'm doing the same. And I come here, I'm gonna go to this space where I have the zigzag, and I'm gonna do a single crochet here. Remember I chained 2 already. I'm gonna do a single crochet. I'm gonna chain 2. I'm gonna come here again to the piece that we are adding, and the first chain 2 space I'm gonna do a single crochet, chain 2, go to the one of the body, and the next chain 2 space, do a single crochet. Remember you have to work in every single chain 2 space, otherwise you'll have extra in one side. Chain 2, chain 2, come back this side. Again we are working in a zigzag. And like that you're gonna work all the way around, attaching these 2 pieces together like this. And after we will continue working in this side. Here I finish under the arm. Later I'll lose that tail. And here I did one exactly where the chain 8, and then finish in that one here. Like that. And now we're gonna start in this side here. Now we're gonna do a slip knot, and remember to leave a tail long enough for easy way to lose that tail. I found that when they are too short, it's really difficult to lose them properly. So I'm gonna come here, and here is the chain 8, and then the one that is right on top, we're gonna do a single crochet in there. Chain 2, go to the next loop and do a single crochet. Chain 2, go to the next loop and do a single crochet. Chain 2, the next loop. Like that you're gonna do this row all the way around, and you're gonna finish here with a slip stitch. Here I'm going to finish. I chain 2. I'm going to come here to the first single crochet that I did, and I do slip stitch. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch to come inside that chain 2 space. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and in the same chain space here I'm going to do a double crochet. So this is a little bit wider, and remember the arm started to go from wide narrowed down, so I need to do some decrease, and that's what I'm going to do in here. I'm going to chain 2, and in the same space I'm going to do 2 more double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to skip this chain 2 space and the next one, and then the third I'm going to do again 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, chain 2, and 2 more in that same space, 2 more double crochet, 1 and 2, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, skip 1 and 2, and then the third one again 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same space, 1 and 2, and like that you're going to continue all the way around. Remember there are 4 chains in between. Here you're going to come in the third chain and do a slip stitch to finish this row. Here I'm going to finish this row, and you see I have 1 and 2 separated, and I'm going to do a slip stitch in the third chain, and now I'm going to do another slip stitch on top of the second double crochet, and a slip stitch to get inside of that chain 2 space. Like that we finish row number 1 like this. Now I'm going to chain 3, do another double crochet in that same space, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and do 2 double crochet inside this chain 2 space, 1, 2, chain 2, again 2 more double crochet in the same chain 2 space, like that, chain 3, again 1, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the same space, chain 3, again go to the next one, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and like that you're going to continue all the way around in row number 2, and you're going to finish here in the third chain with a slip stitch. Here I finish with my slip stitch. I'm going to do another slip stitch on top of the double crochet, and another slip stitch to get inside the chain 2 space, chain 3, another double crochet in the same space, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet in the same chain 2 space. Now we're going to chain 3, again 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. And next row will be exactly the same as this one, 3 chain in between. Remember, row 1 is 4 chain, row 2 3 chain, row 3 3 chain, and row 4 3 chains in between. So I'll meet you here after row number 4. Here I finished row number 4. If you want a short sleeve, you'll leave until here. If you want, you leave the end like that, and you do an edge like this, or whatever edge you want to do at the end. But if you're doing long sleeve, you'll continue with me. Now I'm gonna do 2 slip stitch, and all is just 2 slip stitch to get to the center at this chain 2 space. I'm gonna chain 1, 2, and 3, do another double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same space. Now we're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2. What we're changing is just the separations here. And 2 more. Like that. Chain 2 and continue. From this row 5 to row 10, you're gonna do 2 chain in between each stitch. So I will do mine and I'll meet you here after I finish row number 10. Now I'm gonna start row number 11, and now will be only 1 chain in between each motif. Chain 3, a double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 1, and now again. And from row 11 to row number 24, I did only 1 chain in between each stitch. Like that. Only 1. And from row number 24 to row number 23, I don't did any chain in between. Remember, everybody had their arm different length, so I'm doing mine to my length. Row number 1 was 4 chain. From 2, 3, and 4 was 3 chain. From 5 to 10 was 2 chain. From 11 to 24 was 1 chain in between, and from 25 to 33 was none, no chain. You can see there that it's getting narrow to the bottom, like that. And at the end I did the trim. Remember, you have to try it on as you work on your sleeve. That's what I did for mine, and I was decreasing to the size of my arm. So you will do that. I will finish my other sleeve, and I will continue with the bottom part at the top. Here I finished my 33 row, and now I'm going to show you how to do this border at the end, just in case you want to do the border like mine. Again, we're going to slide our work to the center of the 2 chain space by doing 2 slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 3, and this will count as the first double crochet of 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to come here to the chain 2 space in between these, and we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Again, that counts as 1, and you have 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to come here again and do a single crochet, chain 3, and again you're going to continue doing that all the way around, and when I get to this one I will show you how to finish that row. To finish this border, we're going to come here to the first slip stitch that we did, and we're going to do another slip stitch, chain 1. Now we can cut the yarn and lose the tail, and I finished my sleeve. Now you have to work in the second one, and I will show you how to continue the rest of the piece. This is how it looks so far, and if you like this length, you can do just a border all the way around like this one, like I did at the sleeve. But for mine I want a little bit longer, and I'm gonna do the same design that I did for the sleeve. To do the border part or the continuation, you're gonna do a slip knot and leaving the tail long enough That will be easier to lose the tail. I'm gonna come here at the first chain beside the one single crochet that we did on top of that loop. Then chain, the first chain, we're gonna do a slip stitch here, and we secure our yarn there. Now we're gonna chain 3, and that counts as the first double crochet. And now we're gonna do 2 chain for separation, and now we're gonna do in this chain space here 2 double crochet. We're gonna chain 2, and we're gonna do 2 more double crochet in the same space. We're gonna chain 2. We're gonna come here and top here where we finish that stitch in the center there in the top. You'll see there you're gonna do exactly the same again. You're gonna do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet in the same space, chain 2, and you're gonna come here to this chain space here and gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Chain 2, and now here in the top where you did the zigzag and the last one there, you're gonna do exactly the same. 1, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and again 2 double crochet, chain 2, and you're gonna continue all the way until the end, repeating this in every space here. And this one you see them open like that, but once you do another row they will fall into place. I have to undo quite a few rows after I have worked on this piece here, because I put too many of this group and it started to flare a little bit, so I want it to be as nice and straight as the top. And then what I did was, here I start with the group on the chain space, and remember I told you to do 1 here in the center. Well, and this time I don't did any there, so I went back again in the group of chain, again here, and then in the group of chain, but again here where I had this, the center of the straps of hairpin lace. You see I miss those space there, I let them loose, and now it's nice and straight. I've done already 6 rows, but I want to do this much longer. So I just wanted to explain you that, just in case yours start to do a little ripple and you want it more straight like mine, just skip those there. Everything else is exactly the same. Here I'm going to finish. I chain 2, and now I'm going to do a double crochet in the first chain close to the loop of that loop there. Now I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3. That counts as the first double crochet, and 2 for the separation. Turn my work around, and now we're going to do in this chain 2 space 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same space. We're going to chain 2 and go to the next chain 2 space here in the center, and we're going to do again 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet in the same space. Like this you're going to work all the way to the end, and every single row that you decide that you want to do for this piece, you're going to give the length that you desire. I'm going to do mine off camera. I will let you know how many rows I will give to mine, and then after that we'll do a border all the way around. Here I gave 23 rows of this stitch for the length, and now I'm going to do a border all the way around. Here I'm gonna work on the right side of the piece, and you can do any border stitch that you like, but for mine I'm gonna do the same border stitch that I did for the end of the sleeve. Here in this double crochet that I have here in the corner, I'm gonna do a single crochet, and I'm gonna chain 3, and that counts as the first double crochet of 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna skip this chain 2 space, and I go chain 2 space, and I go to the next one, and I'm gonna do a single crochet, and I'm gonna chain 3, and in the same space I'm gonna do 4 more. And 5. I'm gonna skip this space and go to the next one and do a single crochet. And like that, I'm gonna work all the way around my entire piece. One or 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip that space and go to the next one. Like this. I'm gonna do it all the way around and all the way here in the bottom, and I will finish here with a slip stitch. So after I finish my edge, I will show you what to do next. Here in the back of the collar, what I did was I did one in here, and I didn't skip a space, I did one just next to it. The space that I skipped was the one in the center here at the zigzag. And then I did the same on the other side, that way we have even in both sides. And because if we skip this one and go here, and then don't gonna be the same amount of these stitches in the border. We're gonna do the last one in the corner, and the same corner where we start the first one, we're gonna do 2, because otherwise don't gonna look right there in the corner. Like here, in order to go around, I had to do 2 in the same corner there. Right up. And I'm gonna do the same here at the end. Here you have 4 options. You can leave it like this, open. That's option number 1. Number 2, you can do a chain from here, a little chain with a little flower at the end, on both sides to tie here. Number 3, you can do like a cord of crochet long enough to go all the way around the waist, and then you will do 2 little flowers at the end. And number 4 is the one that I'm gonna use, is a ribbon all the way around, and I'm gonna pass it through here, through the first of this stitch, and a zigzag, one through the bottom, one through the top, and like that all the way around. You can do any color ribbon. I want to do mine white, but you can do any color to highlight that part. So when I finish doing this, I will show you the end result. Here is the end result, and I just love this piece. It's amazing the way it looks. This cardigan, it fits from small to large. Just remember, this is stretchy, and here with the ribbon in the waist, you can make it more to your side. The only thing, when you're gonna do this piece here, just make it a little smaller, that way the arm will fit better for a smaller size. Other than that, it's perfect for those 3 sizes. You want it bigger than large, and then you'll have to add more strips. Now I show you the back, that way you see how nice it looks. Here is the back, and look how gorgeous that looks. It looks amazing, the design. and it's long enough around the booty, so you can give it the length that you desire when you're doing that part. Well, I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And please share my videos with friends and family. That way you help me grow. And have a beautiful day. Bye.